What a year it has been. If you guys don't know me, I'm Shanika and I'm the founder, food blogger, and content creator at Orchids and Sweet Tea. Now, Orchids and Sweet Tea, I started back in 2016. If you've heard my story, I talk about just starting off with sharing my favorite stuff that I made for dinner on social media with like family and friends. Nothing serious. And then obviously I stumbled upon food blogging and started off with just literally a cheap camera, no money, no credit, and all God. I took it serious in 2018, created a whole site, created a brand, and literally just started taking off with creating healthier, alternatives to comfort foods. Then when Reels got introduced in like late 2021, that's when me and my husband really started getting into video, which I feel like a lot of people discovered us through that. Started having fun with videography, and then it was just history since then. But at the top of last year, I want to say like March, my life personally was really just kind of turned upside down in a very good way, but very, life-changing way. And Christianity was something that I have been abreast to and was a Christian since like the age of 13, so it's not new. But last year, at the top of last year, I really took my relationship with Christ super, super seriously. And so much things were just stripping personally, people, things, opportunities, all the things. And I really just kind of took a break from Orchids and Sweet Tea for the most part. For the whole year, really, I kind of popped in and had maybe a few new things that I was kind of rolling out, but really and truly, I kind of took most of that year off and just spent that year really just reposting old content that we've had because we just did so much content. We were beasting during, 2022, 2023. Starting this year, at the top of this year, I just felt like God was kind of, I want to say he was kind of directing me to pick things back up with Orchids and Sweet Tea and, some projects that I was working on. He kind of gave me that go ahead to continue with those, including my seasonings and spices that you may have been abreast to. I just kind of was creating content, but I still somehow felt uneasy, just something I couldn't shake. I just wasn't finding the passion in doing what I was doing before. Honestly, I tried to still create content, still do videography. It just wasn't a passion. There was no spark. I just felt like, like God kind of took that away. So at first I thought, okay, maybe my focus should just be on my podcast, which he had me launch in October of last year. And because that's ministry, and I just felt like, well, maybe that's the full-on transition that he's trying to lead me into. I was praying about it, fasting about it, and he really kind of spoke to me on the idea of, both of them being my ministry. And so he didn't want me to necessarily put down Orchids and Sweet Tea, but I just felt like I don't think he wanted me to do it the way that I was doing it. And so that leads me to why I'm making this video now. I know that you probably saw the title. I'm quitting food content, but technically not food content just the way that I have been doing it. Let's just rerun it back. For over the years, I've gotten a lot of, feedback on I should do front facing because that's something that is, more popular or people connect more with a face. I've had feedback on, again, no one wants perfection, people want relatability, all the things. I always kind of stemmed back on that because I just felt like God wanted me to do it that way, the way that me and my husband was doing it. No face, just all vibes, cooking, and just showing people how to do that with a little bit of style, adding in the music, adding in the flair. And I felt like that is what people really connected with. So many of you have reached out to me personally via, my comments, via DMs, via emails, so many things telling me how I've given you inspiration back in the kitchen, that many of you guys didn't even love being in the kitchen, but started being in the kitchen because you tried my recipes. So many great things, which I am so humbled and grateful for. So I really pushed back on that for a long time because I just felt like that's just how God wanted me to do it. But like I said, as of recently, I just feel like I just couldn't shake the lack of passion for it. And I didn't want to just be creating content just for content creation's sake. And so I have decided to do something way more meaningful, to switch it up. And I feel like I'm now getting that go ahead to really focus on front facing. And so going forward, Orchids and Sweet Tea is gonna shift in a way where I'm gonna be doing more front facing cooking tutorials. I'm gonna be having real honest conversations just about life and faith. And I just want it to have meaning. I got tired tired of the rat race of food blogging, got tired of the rat race of social media and just creating content for virality. I got tired of the rat race of creating recipes, some recipes that were just for, you know, being Googleable versus actually something that I truly, truly love. I just got tired of it all. I just got tired of just not going fully into the path in which I feel like God wanted me to go into. And so this is the revamp. So as you know, I've always shared my faith throughout Orchids and Sweet Tea. So for many of you, it's not anything new, but I definitely will be incorporating it. And like I said, it'll be front facing. So you're going to get me, you're going to get my personality, you're going to get how I, you know, was brought up in terms of cooking styles. You're going to get that way more. So I'm going to be delving way more into my Jamaican heritage, all the things. And so I'm super excited for this shift, this transition. It has been one that has been well thought through, months and months and months of just trying to figure out which direction to go into. And so I'm really excited. I cannot wait. This is definitely going to be a community, especially that I'm going to be on YouTube. And on YouTube, I'm going to be creating longer formed cooking tutorials. And so if you follow me on IG and TikTok, you're going to get the more shorter form versions of, you know, recipe reels. But on YouTube, it's going to be recipes that I don't do on my other social platforms. It's going to be longer formed. It's going to be more storytelling. It's going to be really epic. So yeah. So I'm excited for this new journey. So thank you guys, for those of you guys who have been following me since the inception of time, or whether you joined along the 9-year journey, or whether you just started following me today. I am truly, truly grateful. I thank you guys. I cannot wait. And I am excited to kind of create this safe space in this community for those who love a good plate of food, a few laughs, maybe a few tears, I don't know. Just talking about life and faith and all the things. And so thank you guys. Cannot wait to get this journey started. Love you. Oh yeah, I forgot. So we of course got to do it in true Jamaican fashion. We got to bust a cheers to the new beginning. Let's see if we can do it. Cheers.